Here we go. All right. Block my way, friend. Aye, so I do. Move aside. And if I do not. Since you seem determined to block my way, what is it you want? I am not a common outlaw. I am Robin Hood. I know of you. It would serve my master well to have you dead. Name your master, Prince John, he who deserves to rule. Traitors dog Richard our king. Not for long. When Prince John takes the crown, then you outlaws will know the true meaning of fear. He'll not rest until he's hunted down every last one of you and set you dancing to the end of a rope. Not even this forest will be large enough to hide you from his wrath. That day will never come, as I want your robe and whatever you carry upon you. By the Trinity, I'll give you nothing but the rap of my staff upon your skull. Day 5, monk fight. Can we give this to him? More step back, I'll crack it. I believe that well enough. Yeah, can we buy stuff? Not entirely unreasonable, man. I'll buy your robe and possessions near your price. Even without my vow of poverty, I'll not take ill-begotten coins from an outlaw. Interesting. We shoot him. Move your robe and turn over your possessions, or I will kill you. I fear nothing but the judgment of God. I lower the dishonorable death, but you're a dishonorable foe. How you dare. You have a longbow and I a staff. You call this an even match? I challenge you to combat with the quarterstaff. See if he says no. Death of traitors. Blam! Different things you can do, I guess. Master, we heard the monk issue his challenge and hurried to see you fight him. I have no time to waste on combat with Prince John's lackeys. Now I mean to take his robe. It was a fair challenge. I would have fought him if you liked a stung for it. I'm sorry, Will, but it's no matter how much I may regret. Help me with his rope and take the body away to bury it. Tuck, take my own gear back to the cave for me. See if he loses points for this. Yeah, lost 100 points. Passed quite well as a fence monk. Whistle made from the marsh reed from which offenses. Let's see what's in here. Ah, okay. Monk's pouch contains 9 gemstones. Okay, we'll need that later. Okay, let's check the. Okay, arcade. One man that doesn't call your man, it matters not. I'm prepared to die. Do you wish him taken? What say you, monk? Give me your robe and all you carry upon it, and you'll go in peace. I say be damned. If God doesn't punish you for your wickedness, Prince John will. You serve that devil's hound and speak openly of it. What does it matter? I'll give you nothing of my free will, and if you seek to take me by force, I'll kill as many of you as I can ere I die. Stand aside, man. I began this and I shall finish it as honor demands, 1 to 1. Farewell, but be wary of him. You man of word or deeds. Exit. Will you lend me your quarterstaff? This monk has challenged my honor. Yeah, okay, head strike, body strike, leg strike, overhead. That day I will lend it to you. Okay, good. He fought well, but not well enough. Final blow was so strong it broke his staff. Aye, that was bad luck. I'll have to make do with his robe and whatever he's carrying. Rest yourself, Robin. We'll remove the robe, and when you've changed, I'll take your clothes and weapons to your cave. You look the part, Robin, even without a staff. But surely you could have kept Little John's. Nah, he values it too highly. It'll be my wits that keep me alive, not a staff. Ah, then you're poorly armed indeed. 'Tis better than not being armed at all like you. Be off with you, rascal. $9.60. Yeah. See if he has a similar comment, like, I'm not gonna profane this place. Will not trespass in this disguise. Yeah. Anybody here? No, no. Okay. Lots of animations needed to be done. Let's try Hey, welcome back, Medicine Hat. Continuing forward, now we are dressed as a monk of some sort. Have you business here, brother? Aye, with the abbot. Very well, come with me. I don't think that's... What can I do for you? Bring greetings from the prior. He asks if you have any further instructions from Prince John. Shh, we don't speak of such things in the open. Ah, well, the prior did warn me of your cowardice. He what? Brother, he said, don't expect much of the abbot. After all, he is fat, ugly, some lazy, stupid, coward, and entirely corrupt. Why, of all that, I never. Oh, and it's known to have intimate relationship with sheep. That's what he said, most of it. Get out of my sight. Get him out, now. It may not have been a useful visit, but it was certainly a satisfying one. Welcome in, Winkers. What, you again? You have displeasure of the abbot enough. Be on your way. That was awesome. Aside from that, the abbot's a wonderful guy. Okay, looks like he's closed up shop here. You gonna feed me? Well, then bugger off. I'm at your service. Kind of interesting, try all these little side things. They've done a good job in finding out like alternate paths and other silly things, like even trying to do that, which is probably not what we need to do right now. Meow. Your robe needs sewing, brother. Nay, I give it to you to fulfill my vows of poverty. All right, silly vow, that sounds to me, brother, but thank you all the same. Okay. All right. Didn't seem to give me any points, but... Stand fast, you cannot enter without permission. Prior sent me to question your prisoners. You'll have to discuss that with the sheriff. Roger, Giles. Wrote this monk to the sheriff. Have you a message from the prior? He demands that you turn the captured outlaws over to me. I will take them to the prior for questioning. He demands they're my prisoners. I caught them. If our prior thinks he can pry valuable information from them, you should jump to obey. Turn them over to me at once. You arrogant, insolent, overbearing hedge priest. Sir Prince John, you're not your prior. And if I choose to hang the outlaws, that is what I shall do. Get out of my sight and tell your prior that he's never to make demands of me again. Take him away. We can see the sheriff again. He doesn't want to see you again. Best go back to the fence where you belong. Suspected we might need to be using this at some point to try to get the brothers out, but I think we need to go to the feds first. You glare at me, innkeeper. What have I done to you? I don't know you, but I know many of your order. I fought with some of you in the Crusades. You've changed swords for staves and donned robes, but you're as black-hearted now as you were when you slaughtered children. Judge me harshly, perhaps I'm not quite as I seem. You wear the robe picked by Prince John. If you're not one of his dogs, change your colors. I will, good man, I will, but not just now. Interesting. You talk strangely, monk. Too much sometimes. Or if I can I buy a drink? Very good ale. Okay, I'm gonna guess it's the same type of thing. Let's see if it's the same phrase. That gets caught and says the same thing, just with a different speech portrait. There he goes. Just Mugsy rest. Let's toast. Okay, yeah. Time's become drunk. I hear something coming through the fog. I heard your signal, brother, but I don't know your face. Have you newly joined our order? I have been sent to serve here. Step in then and be seated. I'll take you across. Get in and sit down. we give him money or anything? How do you expect to enter without the gemstones? Hint, hint. Not must turn all over money to the prior. Okay, it's later. I'm thinking of something else, I believe, with this scene. So I've played this game and seen like little bits and pieces. It's been like probably close to 25 years since I've played this game, but shh, must concentrate. Miasma that drifts over these fences is now so thick I cannot make out the monastery through it. Watches me suspiciously. Contemplate the virtues of silence, brother.
All right.
Monk blocks me. It must somehow pass.
So did you meet the abbot? The abbot?
Yeah, and they just insults him.
You insult him?
Yeah. You know, or it's like,
Okay.
saying something like, oh, here's what the priory called the abbot. And then I even tried to go over to the sheriff to demand the release of the prisoners who would be the three sons and stuff like that.
Welcome back.
But now I'm at the fens right now, so monk blocks my way. Clearly, I must somehow pass him to enter the monastery.
Clearly.
See nothing of interest. You push him. Take the robe off here, and not with a stitch of clothing underneath. I think not. This is not a police quest game.
Is that what you said?
No. Like to sit down now and then.
I don't even think that was around yet, right? The time?
What?
Police Quest?
Yeah, the first one came out like 87 or something.
Ah, okay. And welcome back to you, Medicine Hat.
Some people never listen. Well, you only wonder what Robin was trying to do. Knowing full well that these monks were once soldiers and not to be trifled with. Let us hope he is wiser in the afterlife.
Okay, so now we're at the monks, huh?
Yeah.
Was there something that we had to get from the abbot first
Oh,
to get over here?
no.
So where did we get the whistle?
From the monk we took out in the quarter,
Oh,
with the quarter staff fight.
and now we're disguised as him, right?
As like a new monk, yes.
Got it. No pot, but I do have chicken and vegetables cooking in the crock pot.
Yeah, I might have to go pick up some supplies or something.
Yeah, I looked again to see if there were any refrigerator biscuits, and there weren't.
Make out the monastery through it.
The miasma.
Shh. Just concentrate. Remember, I'm the one pulling this.
You must concentrate.
No, he's concentrating because he's needs to make sure he gets through the moat properly.
I've got to concentrate. I've got to concentrate. Hello? Echo.
So from the monk, we got this whistle. And we got this pouch. So if you look at the pouch, it has these gemstones.
Oh,
Which
there's a puzzle
looks
here.
pretty familiar.
Show this chat.
You know, it's like, so kind of part of the education of things, but also the sort of as a form of copy protection in a way. So like, make sure you have the manual for this game. My business side, please let me pass.
We
You and your
did.
brothers
Somebody
therefore,
dropped
you
his
must
marbles.
But I must have the tokens you bear for the guardian of the gate.
So the guardian of the gate, we need to give the marble that
I must have the first token before you present this. Let's have the first token before you present.
It's not the order of things. You think you would know this, Chad? It's not. This is the first token. I await the rest. That means hand the bags over. I accept your token, brother, and now you must prove your knowledge of the lore of the gemstones. This is the way of it. I will pose you 3 riddles.
So in the previous game, Conquest of Camelot, there are these riddle stones, and those were kind of interesting.
As I well remember.
It's sort of like, you know, the riddles that Gollum and Bilbo play in The Hobbit.
Right.
And so it's those are a little like this. If you're right, you'll pass into safety. You're wrong, commend your soul to God, for you will die here. Here's the first riddle.
We could take him, Chad.
Sadness weighs upon my soul. My heart aches to be filled. Would that I could steal into my love's chamber unseen.
Is there something that brings us like the power of invisibility?
Yeah.
Melancholy?
See.
The gate 1 does melancholy.
Yeah, is there something about love or anything?
So we're looking in a book that gives us these stones and definitions.
Makes the wearer invisible.
Grants the heart's desire. Fever, blindness, poison. Good luck. I imagine maybe it's the.
I mean, here it makes the wearer invisible. Something.
Yeah, but it doesn't do
Steal
anything
my
about.
love's chamber unseen. So, I'm gonna do that. Your first choice is correct, brother. Choose you now 2 more.
Okay, so you gotta get the other one. It's here. Something about heart aches to be
Sadness
filled.
weighs upon my soul.
Melancholy is the first one. Curse melancholy.
Well, okay, agate. The second stone is correct. Choose your last stone for this riddle.
Now it's something about love.
My heart aches to be filled.
There's this one right here. Where is it? I said one that had all the desires or whatever.
My heart aches to be filled. Versus blood from flowing from wounds. Grant's heart's desires, carnelian.
That's what I was looking for.
Okay, the red one.
Going good, Winkers. Thanks for asking.
Good. Here's the second riddle. I have 3 fears. I fear traveling by ship. I fear my wife will be unfaithful. I fear the lies of men. What should I take with me? I have 3 fears.
There's one about traveling by ship that like protects sailors. Let's find it.
Protects sailors at sea.
Yeah, it's probably that one.
Your first choice is correct. Now choose 2 more. Here, my wife will be unfaithful.
Is there something about unfaithful people?
Well, here's one that can make a woman confess her sins.
Why are such asses when it comes to women?
It cures boils. It's 1193. Different time. Preserves chastity. Chastity 3.
Preserves chastity.
All right, the second stone is correct. Choose your last.
Was that sapphire?
I fear the lies of men.
All right, Wink. Thank you for telling us again.
Symbolizes the power of water. Is the stone of truth, the lapis lazuli.
I bet that's it. Right?
Okay, 5. Let's try that one. Well done, brother. Here is the final riddle. I'll build a ship to carry me skyward. If it falls, I'll not be harmed. What? But I will never tell how it is done. What do I have? Pause. I'll not be harmed, but I will never tell how it is done.
So
Duck's injuries from falling is turquoise. That'd be 2.
Start with turquoise.
Something about
ship the scary me.
has the power of divine attraction, will pull objects to the sky, so that's agate. What do you have? I will never tell how it is.
Said something about the truth.
Something about secrets or something.
Well, there was one.
Oh, preserve secrets.
Yeah, there we go.
3.
Sapphire. Okay. That should work.
Welcome in, brother.
Good thing we had the handy dandy
notebook
pamphlet. So we could do this, because if you bought this, or if it was pirated software, you might not have been able to find that.
Hey, no, stop moving. Or maybe I just have to hover over things.
This open court has only a well in the center. Perhaps this is where the monks practice fighting with the quarterstaff. The stonework of this cheerless place is dark and chilled by the mist of the fence.
Probably just bedrooms.
All right, Winkers. There's a monk within contemplation. I deem it wise not to disturb it. It seems to be used as a kitchen, but is as barren and uninviting as the rest of this dreary place. The prior and the other monks are in this refectory. It's an empty room. There are spiral stairs leading upwards in the tower. Again, there's a monk, right, in contemplation. Leave him alone. A monk stands guard over a prisoner that's being tortured in this tower. Boy, they're nice, aren't they?
Former soldiers.
Yeah, that's what it said. The door to this tower is locked. I've a hunch the prior lives there. Here.
Yep, I guess let's see what we can do.
So you think you can go to the prison?
Maybe not.
Doubtful.
What's this?
It's an empty room. Okay. You gonna fool the prior? Seems kind of scary. I don't recognize you. Who are you? I am Brother Eustace. And what do you here, Brother Eustace? I joined your order so that I may serve Prince John as he deserves. Then you are welcome, Brother Eustace, if you can fight. There's not one of us that wasn't a soldier before we donned the black robes. There are those with good cause to fear the skill of my arm, your worship, or I would not be wearing this robe. Yeah, really, seriously. Good. We'll have to put that to the test soon. Have you sworn to obey the vows of our order? Oh, I've made many a solemn vow, never fear. Have a care, Brother Eustace. Your tongue is a mite slippery for a man who has sworn humility and obedience. Please, pardon me, your worship. Very well, but we are strict here. Any infraction is punished with lashings. Remember that. Yikes. Brother Eustace, more like Brother Useless. Yeah, seriously. Am I right? Yeah. The Normans who built this fortress may have left behind this effigy of a Norman knight. They all look the same with a hood over their heads. Silence is better than talk, brother. Keep your hands to yourself, Brother Useless.
Can we give this away?
That is a fine piece of emerald. The prior will be most glad to have it. Please tell me you saved.
I did.
Oh. Oh. Well, restore and maybe try again. We know that they're in there. Are you supposed to give the stone?
No.
Then don't do it. Game was probably confused too. It's like, what are you doing? I see decks and scrolls inside. This is a room, except for study. Someone has been studying here. I see nothing of interest. It's a scribe's desk. It's best not to disturb anything. This scroll contains a piece of history written by Paulus or Orosius in the 5th century. It deals with Visors, the king of Egypt, in 480 Anno Domini. Visor declared war upon the Scythians and sent an envoy with the terms of submission. This only angered the Scythians. Thinking Visors both rich and stupid, the Scythians warned him to beware the uncertainties of war. Then, to forestall the attack on them, they marched forth and attacked Visors. They drove Visorius out of his own realm, but the Egyptian army forced them to retreat until they were too severely hampered by marches to continue their war. Thereupon the Scythians instead subdued Asia in a war lasting 15 years. They were only forced to return to their homelands by demands of their wives, who threatened that if they did not return, the women would have children by men of other tribes. Okay. This scroll tells of the Amazons. These were the wives whose husbands were killed in the war. Deeply affected, they rose up and killed all the men who remained so that all women would be equally affected. Then they turned and destroyed the enemy who had first slain their husbands. They burned off the right breasts of the girl children so they would not be hampered in shooting the bow. The Amazons had 2 queens, Marpesia and Lampeto, and they would draw lots to see who would go to war and who would remain to protect their home. The Amazons conquered most of Europe, took many cities in Asia, and founded other cities and became rich with plunder. Such fear did they spread that at last Hercules came with 9 warships and assaulted them by surprise and massacred the 2 sister queens who ruled them then, Antiope and Orthia. Panthus then became queen and fought heroically in the Trojan War. Thus reads the history of Paulus Orosius in the 5th century. This scroll describes the death of Attila, as written by Jordanes in the 6th century. Attila had an endless number of wives, and as was the custom of his race. But the excess of his indulgences in women, combined with too much wine, caused him to fall asleep upon his back, whereupon a bloody flux from his nose flowed into his throat and killed him. The people of his race mourned him with great clamor. The men cut deep wounds into their faces so they would weep manly blood instead of tears. The women wept and wailed and cut their hair, yet so terrible was Attila that his death can only be counted a blessing. Isidorus Seville of the 7th century wrote Entomologies. Herein is the writing upon the origin of glass. It says glass came from Phoenicia next to Judea. There is a swamp from which comes the river Belus at the base of Mount Carmel, and it flows for 5 miles into the sea. The sands are washed clean from the river where meals were prepared along the beach, and have no stones to place under utensils. They put down lumps of mineral natron from their ships. When the natron burned, it mixed with sand, and the new liquid flowed, but was translucent. But soon, by experimentation with other substances, they developed this art and learned to melt copper and natron within, and afterwards to blow the lumps into shapes. The legend says that a man brought a glass flail to Tiberius Caesar and threw it upon the ground. It did not shatter, but dented like metal. The man could hammer it back into shape like metal, and yet it was glass. Caesar asked if anyone knew of the secret. The man said only he knew, whereupon Caesar had him decapitated. Nice, Caesar. Saying that if the glass could be made that it did not break, then gold and all the metals would be worth no more than mud. Okay. From the Vita Caroli, written by Einhard in the 9th century, is a description of the habits of Charlemagne, ruler of the Franks. It says that he was extremely temperament in partaking of food and drink, especially drink, and abhorred drunkenness, especially in himself or any of his family. He ate only 4 courses in his daily meal, and most dearly loved hunted meat roasted over a spit. During the meal, he would hear some sort of rich recital or entertainment of history and stories of ancient deeds. Often in the summer, after a light meal of fruit, he would sleep for 2 or 3 hours, for he would wake 4 or 5 times during the night. He would admit friends, litigants, and do other business even while dressing if the need was urgent. He knew many foreign tongues and was exceedingly skilled in Latin. He valued scholars and had many learned teachers, and studied also rhetoric and astronomy. He would fill his bed with tablets and notebooks, attempting to learn the art of writing, though he advanced not far on this, having started late in life. Here's a description of a palace in Constantinople called the Magnora, or the Magna Ula, meaning the Great Court. The emperor's chair within this palace was so constructed that it could be raised to a great height, even onto the ceiling, and lowered again. Before the seat was a tree made of gilded bronze, in whose branches were birds of gilded bronze, which would utter notes to match their species.